Welcome to the Build Insight podcast. Real people, real insights. Step into the world of innovative construction, one conversation at a time.
Welcome to part 2 of our episode with Will Frogley, CEO of Master Builders South Australia. If you missed part 1 last week, go back and have a listen. If not, enjoy this episode.
One last thing, maybe not one last thing, but the next topic that I want to talk about. Last year, I was fortunate enough to utilise the most of it, but your awards program, mate, the way that Master Builders want to promote and recognise the incredible work that the members are doing, run us through what the awards program is, maybe some of the topics or awards or how that works as well.
Yeah, delighted to. So it's known as the Building Excellence Awards that we run every year. In August is the official dinner at the convention centre, and it's the biggest awards program. It's the biggest dinner, etc., in the state, I think. So there's we have more than 1,530 people come to that every year. So that's a massive event and a great celebration of all the great work that's being done in the industry. So they're very hard to win, and I'll give you a shout out because you don't want to blow your own trumpet, but Luke is the Australian Young Master Builder of the Year. So a great honour and real credit to the great work you're doing, mate. But it's a fun night out, and it's great recognition for all the hard work and professionalism that we see in our industry. And walking into that room every year, I should know what to expect because I've probably been to about 15 of them now, dating back to before I started Master Builders. But it is a very impressive night. I do get a bit of a heart, nearly have a heart attack every year when the catering invoice comes in. But I go and knock on the door of our CFO and say, "Is this just got this bill? Is this correct?" And yes, Will. That's 1,500 people eating and drinking it. But don't worry, there's people buying tickets and stuff. Okay, I'll just pay the invoice. But it is a fantastic celebration of our industry for sure.
Yeah.
The Premier comes and talks, and pretty much everyone in the industry is there, to be honest.
Yep. And then that progresses. So that's the state awards. How does it sort of link? Because I don't think there's every category in the state award links to the national awards, does it?
Not every category. So, so we have obviously a number of different categories you can win. You have new builds up to a certain limit, renovations, then you have the commercial categories, etc. We have recognition for the best subcontractors. And if you're fortunate to take out the state award, then you usually get entered into if there's a corresponding national category. And then the national awards are usually held somewhere around the country in late November. And that's where, if you're fortunate enough, you can be named best in the country.
Yeah, lucky for me, actually, this year it was in Adelaide. So I
didn't have to go too far.
I was actually that week, the day before I actually got back from Melbourne, I spent the week in Melbourne, had to fly back to Adelaide for the national awards. So, but anyway.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I've missed, Will? Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on? I guess what is available to members that they might not know about?
Probably the main thing I'd like to say is that we're really focusing this year on getting out to see members for more face-to-face visits, because we know that they're so busy typically running their own business that unless you make the time to go out and talk to them and find out what's important to them and let them know about all these services, often they don't know about them. Yeah. So we're finding that when we go out and see the members face-to-face, there's a lot of mutual benefit.
Yep. All right, well, so that's good to get a bit of an understanding on what Master Builders offers to its members. Next, I know this is something that you've got a lot to do within the background, and your insights for everyone I think are going to be pretty valuable here. The state of the current industry, and whether you want to talk about it at a state level or go into the national level, we've obviously got some pretty big challenges that you hear all over the news about labour shortages, insolvencies, cost escalations, supply chain issues. Where's your view at the moment, mate? What's your take on the state of the current industry?
It's very interesting times, I reckon, Luke, because there's some really positive things, but then there's a lot of challenges as well. So probably start with the positives, I reckon, is that we're on track for a record year in terms of the value of construction work done in South Australia, about $22 billion.
Wow.
Which is a truckload of work. There's a record number of South Australians working in the industry at about 93,000, and there's also a record number of SA construction businesses. So that's really positive. Also, our insolvency rate in South Australia has consistently been by far the lowest in the country over the last 5 years.
Oh, wow.
So that's definitely really positive. And there's a lot of opportunities coming up, but it is going to be quite challenging in terms of the cost of doing business and labour, I think. And that's why we've tried to assist with things like a skill migration program, because we throw a lot at training, but training takes time, and a lot of our members need people now.
Yep.
So that's why we started Build Connect skill migration program last year. We've put a couple of hundred people in the industry straight away. I
Yep.
think we'll be on track for about 400 by the end of the financial year.
Wow.
A lot of them from the UK, which are making a real difference. The cost of doing business is a concern. I'm really worried about housing affordability. You know, for Adelaide to be ranked one of the 10 least affordable cities in the world, relative to people's incomes, is quite frightening, I think.
Yeah.
We need to make sure buildings kept affordable. And what we'd like to see from the government is they're doing a lot of good things in terms of releasing land and pumping money into water and sewage infrastructure and stuff like that. But we'd love, before they bring in any new regulation, to just put themselves in the shoes of a first home buyer who's desperately trying to get into the market.
Yeah.
And just ask themselves, is what we're planning here going to make it easier or harder or impossible for that person?
Yep.
And if the answer is going to make it harder or impossible, just have a really serious think about whether you want to do it or not. There's some great things for the state in terms of AUKUS and stuff like that, and they're predicting a big copper mining boom.
Okay.
And we've got some really big projects like the Torrens to Darlington and the Women's and Children's Hospital, plus all the housing stuff that's going on, particularly out north, which is all great. But I guess where all the people are going to come from is an obvious question. Our national office did some modelling on this, and they think we need an extra 18,000 workers in our industry by the end of next year just to meet projected demand. So the challenge is quite daunting, because especially things like defence and mining, they're great for the state, but they are industries that are real traditional competitors with us for labour.
Yep.
So our challenge to find enough good people has just gotten harder, basically.
That's a huge number.
Then also there's some issues around supply, which again, I talked about how much work's going on. So there's some issues particularly around concrete.
Yep.
Which we're already seeing the price bolting in. You can imagine how much concrete is going to be required for Torrens to Darlington. That is the biggest infrastructure project in South Australian history. And to be clear, we support the project because we think it's a vital one for the state. But it is going to really stretch concrete.
Use a lot of resource.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Any particular trends that you're seeing in the state at the moment?
Trends. Yeah, people are definitely looking at ways to get building times down, more in the project home space.
Yep.
But there's a lot of people looking at, modular and stuff like that. And but I think there will always be a place for a nice custom built home as well. So the main thing is we want to have good options for different customer preferences, right? Like a nice custom-built high-end home, a first home buyer, someone who wants to live in an apartment, someone who wants to live in the country. Like, we need good options for all parts of the market.
Yep, for sure.
For over 130 years, Bowen's has been the builder's choice, providing a service that provides timber, hardware and innovative building products.
And now we're helping you further with this wonderful partnership.
We're proud to announce Bowen's as our new premier sponsor, bringing in more of the insights that you love. Build insight together with Bowen's.
Real people,
real insights.
Let's touch on, Will, your opinion or your input on the National Construction Code. This is a huge topic, with probably the majority of our listeners being a smaller builder like myself, where they've only got maybe a team of 2 to 10. They might only do like a majority of renovations, extensions, or a small amount of custom homes per year. Rather than, because I know this is a bit of an interesting topic when it goes over into the volume built market. What's your take on where the code changes are at the moment? We've also just had the announcement, obviously, of the draft for 2025 with some more changes. And there's things like our local state government that have their own input on how long they can freeze and do whatever they want with them as well. Give us your thoughts on that.
It's a very interesting subject because I think it was conceived with good intentions, the whole NCC thing, and it will suit the needs for a lot of builders and their particular clients. It does put a lot of pressure on, particularly the first home buyer market. I'd say, things like 7-star and accessible living. There's a lot of clients who are very happy. They want that type of thing, even higher than 7-star, and they're very happy to pay for it, and they've got the ability to pay for it. And for that I'd say good on them. That's what they want, and that's what they want to pay for. Fantastic. But again, if you're a first home buyer from out north and you're desperately trying to get in the market, all these things make it even more difficult.
Yep.
The other thing I'd say is the very clear messaging to me from builders has been, we've been under a lot of pressure the last few years. The goalposts are constantly changing. We're under a lot of pressure to build more and more homes. It's hard if you keep changing the goalposts. We have to keep changing our designs. We don't have all the resources to be able to do all that. Yep. Can you just get out the way and let us build for a while? That's a very clear message I'm hearing.
Do you think that a code change update every 3 years, do you think it's too frequent?
Yeah, I do, in the current market. Yeah, like I said, the industry right around the country is under a lot of pressure, and it's quite overwhelming if you constantly have to deal with a different regulatory landscape.
I don't know whether you can answer this question or not. I'm curious to know, and I've been asked this question a lot as well when I'm telling, say, like my family or friends or other builders or whatever, about the fact that obviously there's the code changes that come in, and then each state can have their take on when they're allowed to be implemented, and and what they can freeze or whatever they choose to do. How does that actually work?
So each state's free to implement the NCC changes in a way that they see fit. So that does vary around the country. There were some pretty big changes. Our housing minister did make the commitment that I think he was going to freeze it for 10 years after the most recent changes.
Yep.
Let's hope that the government sticks to that, because, like I said, I think builders need to know what environment they are operating in and can make decisions based on a stable environment. I think that's really important.
Yep. Good one.
And if they are going to make changes, not for NCC, but anything, give builders a decent lead-in time so they've got time to adjust before the laws actually come into force.
Yeah.
Don't just make a new requirement for you next month, for example.
Yeah. Do you have any idea when the 2025 updates may come into play?
We're still in discussions with the government about that. We've said that probably May 27 would be probably the best time, if that's helpful for people.
Which is pretty scary, because it's actually, it's only just over 12 months away.
It is, but there's a lot of people who want them to come in a lot earlier than that. So, we're looking for a sensible compromise.
Yep. Does Master Builders offer any form of upskilling or seminars or anything to educate members on
NCC changes? Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. It's quite a popular course.
Yep. In person, online?
In person, sorry.
In person. Yeah.
In person, yeah.
Is it something that it's a frequently run course, or it's only a couple of times a year that people got to sign up to?
It's based on demand, really, to be honest. So that's the thing with all our training courses. If we're inundated with demand, we'll ramp up the number of courses we have. Yeah. That's the thing. And the other thing about our training is, like I always say, if there are any courses we're not offering that you want us to, let us know, because if there's appetite for it, we'll look to see if we can bring it in.
Yep. Awesome. We'll move forward to, I guess, the difference between, because I was curious about this as well, actually, the difference between Master Builders Australia, and each state has their own state, like you guys, Master Builders South Australia. How do the two tie in, or what's the difference?
Okay, so the easiest way to explain it, I reckon, is in every state and territory in the country, there's a Master Builders Association, and each state or territory runs their patch autonomously. So everything that happens in SA's up to us.
Yep.
Then we're all members of Master Builders Australia, which is the national office, which is located in Canberra. And then we have input at that level from a policy perspective. So we feed that up, what our members want. And then the primary responsibility of the national office is to lobby the politicians in Canberra and provide economic reports and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I guess that differentiates us from a couple of other associations where, the national office directs the states what to do.
Yeah.
I actually find that our model works well for us because for a couple of reasons. Number one, we know our patch better than someone in Canberra. We can be a lot more nimble, so we can act quickly on the ground without having to get approval.
Mhm.
The other thing I find that, if we had the model that others have, they'd probably sort out New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, WA, and then when they'd sort out all their issues, they might get around to SA.
Yep.
So I think I much prefer us to be the masters of our own destiny here in South Australia.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. I was just thinking, how do I ask a bit more about it? But you just actually nailed exactly what I was thinking of. So
Good.
yeah, good.
Yeah, they do a good job, the national office, though. They are
Yep.
constantly meeting with all the relevant federal policies.
Yep. I think you might have touched on it already, but what's your take on like where do you think residential building is? Because I know Master Builders, you guys obviously do the commercial sector as well, but specifically residential is majority of our listeners. Where do you see the residential construction industry heading?
Like I said, there's definitely a lot of builders focusing on new methods of construction at the moment. Even some who honestly surprised me that they'd be looking into that particular area because I didn't think it was the kind of market that they were servicing.
Yep.
There's a lot of interest in alternative methods to speed up build times is a big priority for a lot of builders at the moment.
Yep.
Then also pushing things to the limit in terms of high-end construction and how well that can go. What I'm seeing astounds me, to be honest, some of the builds I get to walk through.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it, but it's also annoying because I know I'll never be able to afford some of these homes. But nevertheless, it's so impressive to see what some of our members are doing in that space. They are really pushing the limits.
Yep. Yeah, that would be pretty rewarding in your position, mate, to be able to see some of that stuff. Would be pretty cool. I was actually speaking to, not that I want to bring up the other industry body as well, but a judge for one of the other industry bodies a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying like the coolest part about being one of the judges is that exclusive access to go and see some of these projects that you never would ever get the opportunity to.
I really enjoy going out and seeing what our members are actually building.
Yep.
It's residential, commercial, etc. It is so impressive, and I'll just tip my hat to the great work that everyone's doing out there.
Yep. Well, I'm sure there's a few cool things that we could get you out to check out as well, mate.
Love to.
Yeah.
We are absolutely thrilled to announce that Circus Studio are coming on board as a major sponsor and supporter of Build Insight. Circus Studio is Australia's leading interior design centre. If you're an architect, building designer, interior designer, builder, or just looking to build your dream home, you need to make a time and come in and check out the space here in Port Melbourne. This space holds every element that you'll possibly need to design your dream home.
All right. Well, we won't hold you all day, mate. We'll, moving forward, we're getting to the closing section here. So just a few more questions just to reflect, mate. So what could you offer to any of the younger generation or someone that's sitting on the fence about maybe getting into the building industry? Any advice that you could offer, as well, leading from that as well, anyone sitting on the fence that might not be a Master Builders member that's thinking of jumping in, any advice?
Yeah, definitely. So your first question, I'd say building construction is not for everyone, but if you're someone who is prepared to work hard, definitely the rewards are there.
Yeah.
People in building construction are getting paid more and more every year because they're in such high demand. And you talk about a lot of occupations are going to get disrupted in the very near future by AI. I think building in construction is one of the least likely to be disrupted in the short term to medium term. So it's a bit of a safety spot there as well, but it's just such a rewarding. People always tell me like it is so rewarding for them to sit back at the end of the job and think we built this.
Absolutely.
That I can totally see why. Because the job that people do is really impressive. And then you look around, like you're building people homes, you're building stadiums, whatever it is. Where would we be as a state without building construction?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, there's more than 90,000 people employed in the industry, and it's a massive chunk of the economy. So, it's a really great industry to be in, but I'm sure you'd tell me that it's not an industry where you can just coast and get by. You have to be prepared to work hard.
Absolutely. And I think probably one of the more important takeaways for people in the current climate would be, you touched on AI, not specifically AI itself, but the way that the industry is continually evolving. It's not something that you can just coast along with.
No.
If you're the leader of the business, you need to be continually educating yourself and looking for the next resource and upskilling and educating yourself, because it is like, I mean, the 9 years that I've had my building company for, plus my years of experience as a carpenter before that, how quickly I've seen things personally evolve.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty scary. That
Definitely.
If you haven't got your foot on the gas the whole time and looking for the next thing and continually educating, it is, you'll get left behind very quickly.
Oh, definitely. We're seeing the industry evolve like really fast in the last few years. I totally agree.
Yeah.
And check out Born to Build website if you want to know, how to get into the industry and where it could take you. It's a really good resource.
Yep.
borntobuild.com.au, born to the number.
Yep.
Yeah. In terms of other people, we're wanting to join Master Builders. We're really there to help people in the building construction industry. If you want to take your business to the next level and you want support to do that, I really think we've got a lot to offer.
Yep.
So please check us out.
Yep. And it's pretty simple to do. So anyone that, I guess, is thinking, all right, I need to make the call, what's the best way that they could get in touch?
Definitely call Master Builders 8211 7466 or get on our website, mbasa.com.au.
Yep. And for the listeners, we are in South Australia at the moment talking about this. This is a national podcast, so make sure you do 08 at the start of the phone number.
Good call. Good call. I didn't realise you had a national audience. So
I actually, well, yeah, so Dean unfortunately couldn't make it today. My co-host Dean, he's based in Melbourne, so
okay.
normally we would do that. But because I know, just referencing to getting the area code wrong, when we were using Master Builders insurance brokers as well, obviously the builder's warranty side of it is based in Victoria.
Yeah.
And I remember this, I don't know, I can't remember what the business was, but I kept accidentally calling them because I kept forgetting to type in the area code.
Oh, right.
It was like a pet supplier up in Queensland or something like that. And I kept thinking, I just want to speak, I need to speak to someone about my indemnity insurance policy. And they're like, I don't even know what that is. But
You call it like Joe's Pets or something?
yeah, it was something like that. But they had no idea what an indemnity insurance policy was.
So that's the other thing as well, like insurance. If you need support getting the right insurance setups to protect your business, then also probably another service, we do the building supervisors interviews now on behalf of Consumer Business Services, which is working really well as well.
Yeah, okay. Right.
So that's we won that contract a couple of years ago, and it's doing really well.
Yep. Just for the supervisors?
Yeah, just for the supervisors.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. I didn't know that. There you go. What's one thing you'd like builders to understand about Master Builders that they might not know? Like one thing that, sorry, let me reword that. What's one thing you'd like builders to understand that Master Builders do behind the scenes?
We got your back. We're here for one reason, and that's to create a strong building construction industry. And we'll do whatever we can to make sure that happens.
Yeah, great answer. Yeah, so just a quick wrap up, mate. I've got a couple of just one-liner questions for you at the end, but a quick wrap up for Master Builders then.
Sure.
Any events or programs coming up that you want to give a plug, and where can people find more about Master Builders?
Well, when's this going to air?
Probably mid-April.
Okay, so I won't talk about the golf day. All right, so we got our big women's lunch at the convention centre in June.
Yep.
Big awards program, the dinners in August, also at the convention centre. So there are a couple of big events coming up.
Yep.
So I'll probably have 600 at the women's lunch, I'd say, and about 1,500 plus at the awards night. So if you want tickets, get in fast. Because they always sell out.
Yeah.
Sometimes people call me like the day before the event saying, "Oh, Will, can you get me a ticket?" I'm like, "Mate, that ship has sailed."
Yep. Just quickly on the awards, because I know it opens quite early, as opposed, obviously the night is in August. Is that open yet, or is that coming?
Yeah,
it's open.
I believe it has. Yeah, certainly by the time April this show goes through, it will be shortly open.
Well, I better look into that, and if we're going to chuck anything in this year.
Yeah. No doubt you got some good projects, so
I'm sure we could find one to put in there.
Yeah.
Awesome. What's the easiest way for people to find Master Builders?
I think the website, mbasa.com.au.
Yep. Or if you can't work that out, just Google Master Builders South Australia. I'm sure something will pop up. No, awesome. No, good on you, Will. All right, just a couple of quick questions for you before we go.
Yeah.
What's the biggest misconception about master builders?
I think that we only represent the big end of town. It's true that pretty much every big builder in South Australia is a Master Builders member.
Yep.
But if you were to pick a random member out of a hat, it's far more likely to be like Luke's Carpentry.
Yeah.
They're probably subcontractors are 70% of our membership.
Yep.
So we've got 2,000 plus subcontractor members, even though we're the Master Builders Association.
Yeah, I can vouch for that as well. Like, I'm by no means a big builder and been a member of Master Builders for quite a few years, and it just unless you ask the questions, the resources that are there, if you're prepared to put in the effort and utilize the service, like, you can do some pretty cool stuff with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. We were talking earlier about your a few stresses. What's an industry issue that keeps you awake at night?
Industry issue that keeps me awake at night. There's many. I think that where all the people are going to come from is right up there, to be honest. As you know, if you don't have quality people doing quality work, you just can't deliver on demand. We don't have a demand problem, but we well and truly have a supply problem.
Yep.
And that's the thing. The last few years, there's been a heck of a lot of people working unlicensed or beyond the scope of their license. So there's definitely been some unscrupulous operators who've taken advantage of the shortage. So anyone who's looking to engage a builder or a tradie really needs to do their research.
Yep. Fantastic. Something happening in the industry that people should be excited about.
Seriously excited. I think the fact that South Australia, I've never seen it in such a good position compared with other states.
Yeah.
Like, it's seen now as a good place to do business compared with the other states, and we've got a lot of good, exciting events that are going on. So I think South Australia is up and about more compared with the other states than at any point I can ever remember.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's perfect out there, but there's a bit of a buzz about South Australia, I think.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Lastly, we won't go too much into your personal life, but what does the CEO of Master Builder South Australia do to unwind?
I love sport.
Yep.
So anything I can do that's physically active and also spending time with my family, who don't see that much of me during the week, is something I really enjoy as well.
Sure. Yep. Playing any competitive sports or anything?
Yeah, I still play baseball and tennis.
There you go.
And sometimes indoor cricket as well. So
Yep.
it's I've always loved playing, but at this point it's also a really great stress relief for me.
Yep.
I can run around for a couple of hours and with my mates and just think about that.
Yeah.
So it's actually helps me do my job better.
Helps you switch off. Yep.
Yeah.
No, good stuff. Good on you, Will. Thank you so much for coming in today. We know you're a very, very busy individual. Really appreciate your time.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks a lot, Luke.
Good on you. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you want to find out more about Build Insight, head over to the website buildinsite.com.au. Over on the website, you'll find links to previous podcast episodes, as well as our YouTube channel, Instagram and Facebook. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. Catch you on the next one.
Well, that's a wrap for another week's episode of the Build Insight podcast. Before we leave, just want to give a huge shout out to all of our sponsors for their ongoing support. Without their help, Build Insight wouldn't be what it is today.
Let's cue the disclaimer. I need to let you know that myself and the Build Insight team are in no way, shape or form qualified to give you personal or specific business advice. We strongly encourage you seek out the use of professionals for products or when you are making personal or business decisions. Everything discussed during the Build Insight podcast is our own and the guest opinion and personal experience and is of a general nature only. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Catch you on the next one.